evening all, welcome back to Crossing the Line. So, hope you're enjoying this kind of gratuitous violence that we're slowing down and putting into black and white because, hey, it looks slightly artistic. One thing I can say about this game is, my god, it's pretty. And I don't mean pretty something, I mean it's pretty brilliant. No, as in pretty, it's pretty. So it's funny really because I think certainly when I was playing these games, as you can see here, you're kind of so wrapped up in the event. You know, it's kind of like, oh my god, there's a tank there, it's shooting me, I better shoot it back. That you're not kind of enjoying the I guess the what's going on around you. And I think certainly from like looking back at the footage, and I think almost kind of one of the unspoken truths of YouTube and things like that is actually you can enjoy somebody else playing the game worrying about the kind of semantics of it, whereas you can actually enjoy the beauty of said game. And I think this, I'm kind of always staggered when I look back at this footage and edit it, how amazingly pretty this game is. Anyway, long rambling load of waffle to basically say today we're looking at LAVs, that's light armoured vehicles. And it's a funny place to start as I smite that tank very, very proly. I'm kidding, I have no idea what I'm doing in this tank. All I know is that I'm taking a massive amount of fire and it's time to bail. But it's funny really because I kind of always started with the LAVs because I think in every game I play like this, the LAV is kind of the underdog to begin with. Everybody generally will go for tanks, then they'll go for, you know, the kind of APCs, and then they forget about these poor little LAVs as you see there. And I think certainly they are worthy of consideration. They're certainly not very good, but they're very fast, and you'll see us do some real stunts and dukes of hazarding it as best we can throughout this video. In terms of how I think everything's going, it's going well. I think I'm really kind of enjoying the game. Wish I could get more time to play it. I must admit, there seems to be just an absolute raft of games that have been released all at the same time. It's like Assassin's Creed 4. I haven't even played Assassin's Creed 3 and I'm really gutted about this. So, because I did quite like the Assassin's Creed story, I thought it was actually quite good. And plus it's a Ubisoft game and I like anything generally that Ubisoft do. I know, shocking product placement, I guess. I heard something really cool from Delboy, a guy I caught today, that the Home World IP has been purchased by Gearbox or something like that, which potentially means more Homeworld games coming. So, you know, I think there's kind of offbeat there, I guess. But, you know, there seems to be a lot of games out and there seems to be a lot of games coming that I think are really grabbing my attention. I think, obviously, hopefully you're enjoying the X-rebirth videos as well. If you've not seen any of them yet, or if you have no idea what I'm on about, give them a go, click on them and see what you think, because I think that is going to be a series of videos that could last for years, because they are the kind of games that could just go on and on, but enjoyably. So I don't think it's kind of like some weird, you know, kind of purgatory game that just never ends. Although it is, but in a good way. Anyway, so I think when it comes to Battlefield 4, I'm really loving it. I think it's fascinating seeing the comparisons with Dust. And it's also fun seeing the kind of combat nerdbat that seems to be going on with COD. So, you know, I'm not into that. I think I play what I like, and I like what I play. And I think that's probably the only way you should be, really. You know, if a game's good, then, you know, give it your custom. If it's crap, don't. And I think, you know, don't judge a game on how many people play it. I think that's a very bad thing to do, because, you know, EVE is a very successful multiplayer online game. It's seen as genre defining, but only about what 45,000 people play it at a time. You know, that compared to when you compare it to WoW and other things isn't a lot. A lot of it does come down to do with how powerful the IP is to begin with. And let's face it, Battlefield 4, I think, was played on slate tablets in the Stone Age. I think cavemen used to kind of, you know, call in orbitals and airstrikes, to play, you know, in the kind of Stone Age Neolithic era. So this is an old game with a lot of, you know, kind of, I guess, prestige behind it. I think things like WoW, which have just had the, you know, literally God's wallet showered upon it, have got the ability to market. I think you should never forget that. The ability to market a game is often limited to literally how much money the people and developer have to throw at it. And often it's a bit of a kind of growing you know, thing, really, that, you know, it takes time to grow a product and a brand. So, with that in mind, let's talk about Battlefield. I think certainly the biggest mistake I made in this game, and if you've not played it yet, and if you're about to play it, then let me give you some words of wisdom. Don't bother playing the recon. Don't bother playing anything but assault or engineer to begin with. Not permanently, but just certainly to begin with, because you need to play support to unlock the shotgun, okay? You need to play engineer to unlock the carbine, and you need to play assault because they are literally Jesus in a combat fatigue, situation. They are brilliant, and they're annoying because they are so good. So I think you need to be quite honest with the game, because if you kind of come into the game with a little bit of an arse on you, as they would say in the Cockney areas of our fair London. If you've got a bit of an arse on you or a bit of front, again, I don't know what that means, but like I did. I came into the game and thought, oh, I'm going to play recon. I'm going to persevere, and I'm going to be the brilliant sniper, and I'm going to own lol. And I ended up probably dying like 50 times with no kills. And I'll tell you what, it was about as demoralizing as it gets. So I would heartily recommend possibly engineer to begin with, because the law rocket that you're given is just ridiculously good, and you can kind of shoot stuff no problem. So I think give that a go. Vehicles are also awesome. My God, what am I doing in this LAV? It's almost inconceivable that I didn't just get blown to pieces then. And I think there's something that, God, let me tell you the story of this. As I was playing this, I was playing with Donna Work and Eddie Rio, and I was just in fits of laughter. I had to turn my mic off because all I was doing was just look at that. Oh, I love it so much. And it's like little bouncy castle on wheels. I love it. And it's quite effective as well, I must admit. I mean, again, LAVs generally seem to be the last vehicle that people bother with as well. I think they actually take ATVs before LAVs, which is a shocking kind of slur upon them, because they are actually quite good. As you can see, all I'm doing is cocking about in this, and literally foot to floor. Let's see what this thing can do. And I've got to admit, wow, pretty impressive. Now, I don't know if they're going to kind of nerf or change or buff or do anything with LAVs, because this thing, couldn't roll it to begin with. It was absolutely impossible. It's obviously been programmed that you can't roll it. Post in the comments if you have, because I gave it a bloody good go this time. And to be honest, they're quite sturdy as well. So as you see here, I'm about to barrel roll into a very stiff object, and it doesn't do anything to it. So I think it's kind of interesting to see how these vehicles are being designed, when literally I can't understand it, because if you literally clear your throat next to a tank, it explodes. I don't get that. Yet this LAV seems to have literally the spirit of Colin McRae infused within its steel or something, because it just seems absolutely ludicrously OP. Can't do anything with it. If you try and run people over, it's almost as terrible as it gets. You could probably strap a bit of C4 to it and drive it into something, but then again, that's a waste of an LAV, so who knows. But I just enjoy, as you can see there, just any opportunity to do a jump. I did this in Dust as well. If you've seen any of my videos before, you probably realise I'm a Dukes of Hazzard, I think, junkie, and I just love jumping stuff. Anyway, so I think coming back to our kind of new starters advice, I think there's probably not really more I can tell you from what my observations have been. I think the game's very good. It's interesting, maybe the different split between, obviously we're playing this on PC, and I think a lot of people are obviously playing it on PS4, which starts the fascinating thing of thousands and thousands of minutes of streaming people every day playing these games. And just a word of warning, if you are going to stream Battlefield 4 and you want to be good at it, then make your content interesting, for God's sake, because literally I can only imagine how terrible half of these these kind of streams are going to be if it's just somebody sat there quietly playing the game. I think that's a bit crazy. YouTube and Twitch and all this, and Ustream and all the other streaming services are there kind of to give you a bit of a platform to give your thoughts and opinions across. So don't be afraid to give your opinions, because I think certainly a lot of the good stuff coming from certainly the Xbox. Is Xbox doing it? I don't know, but I know PlayStation 4 you can stream live, and I think that's kind of pretty awesome. And I think just if you're going to get into it, please do it. Try and do it properly, and I think you'll probably enjoy it even more. So, as it stands, we're obviously playing this on the PC, which is, I guess, easy to stream as it is. I won't stream Battlefield 4, I think. I have a bit of a negativity towards streaming at the moment anyway. I think it's just kind of, I don't know, I think the failed artist in me at heart just wants to try and produce a nice video that's concise and, you know, I mean, you're watching, what, we're about 10-minute mark right now. I'd rather you watch 10 minutes of a half-an-hour match, which is what you're seeing, actually. This was almost a 40-minute match, now I think about it. And you're seeing it obviously in less than, well, around 10 minutes or so, which is about right. I think that doesn't waste your time. It doesn't, you know, it gives me the feeling that I'm actually producing something of interest for you to watch. And I think streaming doesn't do that. Streaming is just endless watching something happen, and that could be just a loading screen, and that's not for me. But again, we'll stream stuff like Dust, because Dust is quite easy. Round-based stuff is quite easy to do, so we'll probably carry on doing that. But I think for Battlefield 4, we'll probably give it a miss. I think just for the time being, I'd rather give you a more kind of edited, concise bite every so often, and hopefully you agree with that. Post in the comments if you don't. Post in the comments telling me what a bastard I am for not streaming. I don't care. Tell me what you think, and I think if you really, really do want me to stream some stuff, I will sit there and I will dress up in pink and I will actually do a stream for you. No, I won't. I'm lying, and that's just the way I am. What a liar I am. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.